All right, Chris Broussard now is joining us. I like the Celtics tonight. I don't love anything because I think this series is really even. I've said if Robert Williams played 30 minutes every game remaining, I'd take Boston because it would limit Golden State's interior scoring. The minute he's out, Bam Adebayo and Kayvon Looney look like all-stars. So I think he's a huge factor, but he's not going to play that. He's going to play 20 minutes. He's probably going to miss another game. So I think I like Boston tonight. Chris, who do you like and why tonight?
Well, look, you're right on that. This is a hard-fought series. I picked Golden State to win it all in 7. So they're going to be ups and downs. And whichever team loses tonight, many basketball observers will be like, it's over. That's it. The winner they'll be thinking is going to win it. That's what happens in these series. Whichever team wins the last game, people think is going to win it all. But I like Golden State tonight. I like them because they've got the momentum. Their best player, Steph Curry, and you were just talking about Jayson Tatum, and we can get into that later. But Steph Curry's playing great. Certainly was great in Game 2. Had his moments in Game 1, though he didn't do it during the stretch. And the Celtics' best player, Jayson Tatum, is obviously struggling. Boston, yeah, okay, they have home court advantage. So what? They're not good at home in the playoffs. They're 5-4 in the playoffs at home and 8-3 on the road. They're 3-4 in their last 2 series against Milwaukee and Miami at home. So I don't think they have much of a home court advantage. And I think Klay Thompson, who has been bad in these first 2 games, to put it kindly, is due for a breakout game. I don't know if it'll come tonight, but I think in this series, he's got 1, maybe 2 big games inside of him. And so I like the Warriors to win the night. And then I think Boston wins Game 4. So I think we're 2-2 going back to Golden State.
So your cohort, Nick Wright, was so tough on Draymond Green, who, by the way, has a wonderful podcast. I am a fan of Draymond. I think he's got a lot of Rodman qualities, but he's a much more skilled offensive player, much more catalyst. And I also think he sometimes has a temper, but really never goes too far into the weeds. He kind of knows what he's doing. I thought he manipulated Jaylen Brown. He moved his feet on him. I think he's a tone setter in the series. A lot of people think he's out of control and could combust tonight. Where do you land on Draymond?
Well, look, he scares me. As a guy that picks the Warriors, you know how it is. We root for our picks. He scared me in Game 2. I mean, after that first technical, I'm like, dude, will you relax? Just calm down. Because there were several times where in a regular season game, he may have gotten a second technical and been ejected. I think the refs did the right thing because none of us want to see any of the important players taken out of these games. But I do agree with you, Colin, that he is smart. He's crazy like a fox, right? And I think tonight, like there's a lot of people think, Nick included, that the Celtics players should try to egg Draymond on, right? Get him out, mess with him so he goes crazy and maybe gets ejected. Number one, I think Draymond's too smart for that. If he sees that the Celtics players are trying to bait him into getting ejected or getting a technical, I think he'll love that, and I think he'll go the opposite way. Like, he is the king in this series of the mental games. And secondly, that's not Boston's game. There's a reason when you see a really small player, used to be Earl Boykins when he was in the league, or Muggsy Bogues, or whoever you want to say. When they're out there, the other team doesn't automatically say, you know what, let's post the point guard who's 6'2" against one of those guys, because it's not what they do. It can take them out of their game, and it certainly can take the whole team out of its game, even if it may seem like an advantage. And Boston, if they get caught up in trying to one-up Draymond in mind games, right, then they're going to be in trouble. That's not Jaylen Brown's game.
Right.
That's not Jayson Tatum's game. So that wouldn't be wise for them. So I think they will just go ahead. If they're smart, they'll just go ahead and try to ignore Draymond and play their game.
By the way, I'm not a big fan of Jayson Tatum with his self-doubt. I said this a week ago. Michael Jordan would see that, and you know what he would do. Michael Jordan would say, "It's in there." He doesn't believe in himself. I'm pulling that out. I don't like it. And I've watched Tatum. Sometimes on the floor, I can see his self-doubt. It's like it's manifesting. Like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. What do you make of what he says? And he's brutally honest. Sometimes I don't want you to be honest.
Yeah, look, I thought it was a wonderful soliloquy you gave. I mean, it was entertaining. I loved it. But I don't totally agree. And the Kevin Durant quote was awesome, right, with Patrick Beverley. But let's be honest, Durant has yet to show us he can lead a team to a championship. He can be the best player. He can go ball out when you got all these other weapons on the floor like Steph and Klay, but he hasn't shown us he can lead. And I think I love Jayson Tatum's transparency, but you're right, it's too much at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you people talk about keeping it real. I keep it real, but I still get up in the morning and comb my hair. I don't keep it that real where I just roll out of bed and you see me on TV. All right, so some things need to be hidden, right? And this is one of them. But I think Colin is more youth. If you look at the guys, I mean, Jordan, when did he lead a team to a championship? 7th season. LeBron, 9th season. Bird entered the league at 23 after several years in college. The guys Jayson Tatum's 24 years old. In his 5th year, he played 1 season in college. So the guys that have led teams to championships at a young age or early in their career either had like a 3 or 4 year college career, or they joined the team with a superstar like Magic Johnson. He joined, Kareem was the MVP, and he joined that team that had a host of really good veteran players. So I think this is youth. I do think, yeah, there's some self-doubt, but didn't we see doubt in LeBron, his first finals against the Spurs in 2007? His second finals even against Dallas.
Yeah.
So I just think that Jayson Tatum is a young guy who will, you can't say, like, look, he faced down LeBron as a rookie in a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, he lost, but he averaged 18 points in that series, and he hadn't been a big scorer throughout the year. So I do think he's got it in him, but I think he's young, and I think these are growing pains that he's going through. And a few years from now, if we see him back at this level, you won't see the same thing. So I just think he's young and learning rather than a guy that doesn't have it in him.
Okay, I'm going to throw this at you. It's a little crazy town. A little crazy town. LeBron now has twice talked about wanting to play with Steph Curry. He doesn't love ownership or the front office. He's tied into a bad Westbrook contract, and AD's never healthy. LeBron's way too smart to just throw stuff out there. What he's sending the bat signal out. Like, you guys, Lakers need youth. Kuminga, Moody, Klay Thompson's dad lives in L.A. I think LeBron's absolutely very calculated, and he's just letting everybody know, Joe Lacob, Bob Myers, I am available. I really do. Chris, I think he's sending that out there for a reason. Your thoughts?
You're not way off. I mean, I do, and this is not inside information, but like you said, LeBron is too smart. He knows every little thing he says and does is going to be hyper-analyzed. So, yeah, I think he put it out for a reason, and it's one thing to, like, compliment an opponent. No, he's great. We know what he can do and this and that. He is glowed.
Yes.
He is just fawned over Steph Curry, all right, at the All-Star game and all that. So I'm not saying he's like definitely dying for a trade, but yeah, there's something to this because we know he wants to win another championship, if not more. And he knows if he played with Steph Curry, it's probably over. Now, I don't think LeBron is a tremendous fit there because LeBron tends to become the system wherever he goes. He's gotten off that a little bit these last couple of years. But he is still so good, such a great passer. Steph is still so good, and the other players that they have, the few they'd be able to keep if they had to trade, that they would figure it out, and I do think they would win a championship. I'll say this too, Colin, and I don't mind LeBron being this way. I've never killed him when he went to Miami or Durant when he went to Golden State. But when you talk about GOAT debates, this is one thing people will point to.
Yeah.
And I'm watching Magic Johnson's They Call Me Magic, right, on Apple TV. And Michael Jordan is in it, and he says, when he first faced Magic in the championship, I'm ready to, I was ready to go to the mountaintop. I'm paraphrasing, but, Magic was on the mountaintop. I was ready to get there. And he said, I didn't want to go around Magic. I wanted to go through Magic.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, when they talk about the difference between Jordan and LeBron, will say, Jordan, I know it was a different era, but still, he wanted to go through the competition, the best. Whereas LeBron, D. Wade and Bosh, Kyrie, and Kevin Love, for that matter, now Anthony Davis. Now he wanted Kawhi. Now he's putting it out there that he might want to play with Steph. Like, that's a difference. Wanting to go through the best competition and wanting to join and play with the best competition. So that's something people will point to. A little nit to pick, but it'll be brought up.
Oh, yeah, on shows like ours. Chris Broussard also has a radio show. Great one with Rob Parker every day, Fox Sports Radio. Good seeing you, buddy.
You too.
Okay, I told you my trade. Klay Thompson, if I'm the Lakers, I want Klay Thompson, I want Jonathan Kuminga, a draft pick, and Moody.
Why would Golden State do that?
Well, that's a good question. But I'm just saying from the Lakers.
Yeah, the Lakers would love that.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.